Hey, everybody, and welcome to the weekly Rocksmith 2014 live stream. My name's Dan Amrick. I'm the community...
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants. I got news for you, pal. You ain't streaming but two things right now. Rock and Smith. Rock left town.
Ladies and gentlemen, this must be Halloween here on the Rocksmith 2014 live stream. That's David Stevens. I'm sorry, that's Ash Williams. Hi, Ash. How's it going?
Yeah, name's Ash. Quality assurance.
And Greg Barr is here with the world's ugliest tie.
Yeah. The world's nicest
The eyes do not have it, man. I'm sorry.
The eye has it.
Oh, God. And, hey, what we're going to be playing this week is the Spooktacular singles content. Hopefully you've checked it out. But even if you haven't, we're going to give you a short preview. We've also got some treats for you later on from our friends at Ernie Ball. We're going to be dropping some Rocksmith picks and strings and stuff like that. And we have a backtrack on David Bowie by request, so it's going to be a fun show. Whether you like it or not, it's going to be a fun show. Come back. We have some weird things planned after this trailer. This is what the Spooktacular singles look like. So that's what we've got on tap for this week. 3 of the 4, anyway. Which one will we not play? Which one will not make the cut? You'll find out soon. But we are going to start with one of Ash's favorite bands. which is Billy Talent, Devil on My Shoulder. Billy Talent is huge in Canada, huge punk band in Canada. Did not have a lot of American exposure, and in fact, you said that when we put out our Billy Talent full DLC pack earlier in the year, or was it last year?
That was last year.
Was it last year? All the days run together when you're the community developer. You had said you're like, man, this is like one of my new favorite bands. You found it through the game.
Yeah, it's great.
So when we had the opportunity to play it here, you said, I am grabbing my chainsaw and we are going to rip this up. And yeah, so how is this going to work? I think I have to ask.
Initial tests, we went through several instruments, so I'm afraid I'm going to have to. Here, Cody can help me.
Oh, don't watch.
Oh, God. Oh, good Lord. Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, God, that is disgusting.
So it's amazing what they can do with prosthetics these days.
Yeah, these plastics nowadays.
The neighbor kid down the street 3D printed this for me.
Oh, that's very good. Yeah, so did you get him to do one with the pick?
I got to break it in, and no, there's not going to be any picking.
Oh, okay. it's just the right hand is for show, the left hand it's all hammer-ons throughout Devil on My Shoulder. Well done. Hey, that looks good. I like that you've swapped your chainsaw for an axe. You, Greg Barr, you are performing this week in a live production of the Rocky Horror Show.
Yes, that's right.
So this is the stage show. In case people don't know, there's a stage show that the movie, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, was based on, and so you're doing that. Where are you doing that? Here
the Victoria Theater.
The Victoria Theater.
In the Mission District, San Francisco.
All right. Tickets still available? When you?
Yes, absolutely.
How long is it going?
It's Wednesday through Saturday this week, and then Wednesday through Saturday next week.
Excellent. So just that I have plans this weekend, I don't get out of having to go see you live.
Nope, you have to.
Excellent.
You have to go.
Fantastic. Well, I like the show anyway.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
The opening night was last night, and the crowd was awesome.
Cool. Did they throw
Very
things
funny.
at you?
They're not allowed to throw things.
All
But they are
right.
allowed to yell out things.
Well,
So
I don't
great.
think. Yeah, you basically can't stop them.
No.
But excellent.
Yeah.
So Billy Talent, Devil on My Shoulder. Is there anything? Who tracked it? You tracked it. Anything you want to say about it? You want to let the music speak for itself?
Yeah, I mean, there's not too much. It's a great riff. There's a few great riffs in here, and they're all really easy to read. This band always worked really well in our game, like with our interface and everything. Yeah, it's a great song. It's awesome.
Okay.
Good guitar stuff.
Then let it rip. Devil on My Shoulder by Billy Talent, one of the 4 songs in the Spooktacular Singles DLC pack, available now on all platforms. It looks like it handled just fine worldwide on all 6 platforms. So if you're interested in this stuff, it's available now. We will be giving away some Steam codes later on in the show. So if you like what you hear and you go, I'd like to play this on PC or Mac, you might be able to do so for free. I'll take a peek at the chat room, see what I can answer if possible. Cy Iceman wants to know who you're playing in Rocky Horror.
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
We never really specified that.
I assume you're in the band? You're not Brad?
Playing oboe.
He's playing oboe. That's a challenge. Yes, some of our European watchers have realized that we have not yet changed our clocks back for the seasonal change. We'll be doing that this weekend. So a couple people almost missed it this week. Remember, we will put out announcements for when this happens, but we'll be doing it this weekend. Next week, we'll go back to what probably will match up everywhere, right? It'll still be 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, but I don't know what that's going to be like necessarily where you live, because I don't know where you live. I am kind of curious to hear what people's Halloween plans are. What are your costume plans? Let us know in the chat. Multiple people say their costume is going as Dan this year. You will not get any candy. You'll probably be arrested. I am wanted in several states. But it's good to be wanted, you know what I mean? Oh, somebody's going as one of the Hands of Blue from Firefly. That's good. Somebody's going as Corey Taylor from Slipknot. None of us dressed up as any rock people this year. At least not yet. I don't know. I don't know what. I honestly, I don't know what anybody. You came on with this ridiculous and I have no idea what. I didn't know what anybody's costumes were going to be for this thing. I was just like,
Neither did I until about 20 minutes ago.
I'm going as Executive Ghostbuster, and that's it.
I think we're in the same business.
Yeah, we get rid of deadites. That's right. Except you just vaporize them. I collect them and put them in a small containment unit that then the EPA gets pissed off
You're
about.
sentimental.
Yeah, well, you know, it's hard to make friends. keep your enemies closer, right? Hey, thank you. Anything you wanted to add about that? I mean, that's a nice little groove, but you don't have to have any deep insight about it.
Hail to the king, baby.
All right, great. Let's give away some stuff. We've got the Ernie Ball base pack to give away since you brought out the beautiful Explorer base that does not get nearly enough airtime, I got to say. It's beautiful. It's your boomstick, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're giving it away. You're looking at it right now. This is what we'll go. This is what we'll be giving away to somebody. Oh, hey, no, don't mute me. Thanks. We're giving away to somebody, and yes, some people have asked, do you do international giveaways? As a matter of fact, both of last week's prizes went outside of North America. One, I believe, went to, was it Ecuador? Maybe it was Ecuador. Maybe it was Estonia. It was one of those countries that starts with an E. Oh, I know. It was Europe. It was the Europe country that got it. Actually, one of them went to the UK, and then I think, yeah. But in any case, you're going to get 2 sets of bass strings. Maybe not necessarily the ones pictured based on whatever Ernie Ball has sent us. I'm not really sure. I know that we have some of those lime green regular Slinky bass strings. Plus, you're going to get the nice brand new strap. It could be black. It could be silver. I have a few of each, so your selection is random, but they both kind of match whatever finish your actual guitar is. Plus a little sampler pack of Wonder Wipes. You've got a peg winder for changing strings, at least on guitars. And you've got a dozen heavy picks. That goes out to the bass winner, and then 3 of our picks as well. Hello, gentlemen. Shane Gann, that's a lovely witch you're wearing. Oh, you're still muted. That's okay, though. You're better seen and not heard. By the way, congratulations on the epic 3.5-minute stare into the camera without blinking. Because speaking of things that I didn't know were going to happen, that happened, and then I had no idea. And we just decided to do the show around you. So why don't you guys go ahead and calibrate your guitars. And hopefully you recognize tennis legend Pete Sampras. Hi, Pete Sampras. How are you, sir?
Hello.
Thanks for making it onto the show today.
Of course.
That's great. Oh no, yeah, you know you're putting in the time. Where's no racket? You're just hitting things with your Les Paul today.
I left it over there.
Oh, it's over there. It's just off camera. Of course it is, through the magic of the internet. So you guys are here to play our second song. By the way, good luck in that raffle. We'll have more to give away. We have a guitar pack coming up later. We have DLC to give you as well, and of course we'll have some Q&A later on. If you'd like to ask any specific questions of these fine note trackers, or have any general questions about Rocksmith, we will get to that in the second half of the show. So just scribble them down for now. I'll give you a reminder and ask for them later. But our second song that we're going to do is one that I know Toy Machine, who runs the Riff Repeater, he was very eager to see the bass done on Dead Man's Party by Oingo Boingo. I happen to be a big Boingo fan. A lot of people accused me of it being collusion, that it was my idea that I railroaded this through. I was the one that went Yahoo when I found out that it had already been requested because other people had already requested it, and that it actually we got permission for it. So a fair amount of people out there also saying, I would love to see more Boingo, to which I can say, use that request app. Let us know which songs you'd like. Getting one song does not guarantee that we get a bunch more. Sometimes we will get yes to one song from the same artist on the same album and then no to another song on that same album. It's crazy. So it really does matter that we know exactly which songs it is that you would like to hear. Those are the ones that we will try to get. But this was definitely one that had a lot of requests, I understand. Is that correct?
Yeah, it did.
Well, thanks for that insight, Pete. I really appreciate it. How's the elbow? How's the tennis elbow doing?
It's okay.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need
Just
some
had
ice?
surgery. No, thanks. That's
Yeah, sure. Do you want some ice in your drink? Do you want a drink? Can I
Yeah.
get you a drink?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. So you did the track for this, or he did the track for this?
I did the track for it.
And you get to play the awesome bass line, which is super fun and super impossible, right?
Yeah, it's totally impossible. Yeah.
Okay, so that's why we throw Shane at it.
Yeah,
Like,
you know,
if it's impossible,
I
throw
figure,
Shane at it.
Yeah, do the things. It's the endurance challenge. Last time
It
was
really
blinking.
is.
This time is
It's
a
actually
Like-
playing.
6.5 minute bass part that is played on a synth.
Is that what makes? I was going to ask, what makes it so hard?
Yeah, exactly that. It was,
It's a programmed synth line.
yeah,
not
much
actually.
easier to play on
Yeah.
that than it is
On
bass.
keyboard. So you've transposed from keyboard to bass, to string bass, and so yeah, if you're looking for a bass challenge, guess what? I'm not playing it this week. And is there anything you want to add about the guitar? I mean, I've heard this song a lot. A lot of people remember this from the movie Back to School with Rodney
Yeah.
Dangerfield, seeing it on cable as wee little kids that they were.
Yeah, the first time I heard this song was when I was watching that movie.
Robert Downey
during
Jr.
The party scene.
Going
yeah.
over to
yeah.
the mixer, spinning knobs randomly as if he knows what he's doing. It was Robert
He
Downey
was
Jr.
convincing.
He was, yeah. Well, that's all
As
all
always.
DJs do, right? Is they twiddle knobs and twist things. And that's it.
You're gonna get some backlash.
I
for
know
that.
I am. That's fine. Any advice?
There's so much going on in this song, bass/synth wise and guitar wise. It's great for learning two different arpeggio shapes in particular. And we could go over that after I play the song.
Okay, yeah, but
with the close-up cam, maybe.
we can even do the close-up cam.
Excellent.
Won't
Yeah.
that be fun? It's a Halloween treat, kids. So this is Dead Man's Party by Oingo Boingo. This is one of the 4 songs available in the Spooktacular singles. And if you're just joining us, this is the Rocksmith 2014 live stream. We do this every Thursday at close to this time, depending on what your clocks are set to in your section of the world. And no, don't be worried, Shane. We all believe in you, Shane, at least for the next 4.5 minutes.
Six and a half.
6.5? Well, that's... Now you know. I'm going to stop believing in you about 4.5 minutes
fine.
in. The last 2 minutes, you're on your own.
Here we go.
Oh my god, that is... That's hard, dude. I am not going to do the triple Lindy. Huh. Russ Shackelford says, Oingo Boingo just doesn't seem like it has that many guitar parts. It totally does. They're a pretty large outfit, so you may be missing them under like horns and other instruments. But they're basically a new wave orchestra, and guitar is definitely well represented in the catalog. What kind of bass is the guy on the left playing? That would be Shane, asks Raised Bones. That is the Epiphone viola bass. It is fully hollow, so it's very lightweight, just a tiny little bit neck heavy. Came set up beautifully, and would you believe it's $300? It's really a fantastic value as basses go. Yeah. Who knew? I was actually just checking prices the other day on some instruments, and I spotted that. I'm like, I just can't believe it's just $300. It's become one of the office favorites to play.
It's definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
I love this part.
Osprey S89 says, why ain't there lessons on scales? In session mode, it don't show you how to play scales. I thought that's what lesson mode was for, so that you could explore the scales and learn yourself. It shows you where to put your fingers. That's... Rayorn says, I tried emulated bass once. I ended up buying a real bass. I think a lot of people do. But if you are somebody who does not have a bass and you'd like to try some of these patterns, we do have an emulated bass mode in the game. So you can play bass with a guitar. It just transposes the notes digitally for you. Goes down a couple octaves. Goes just a full octave. Sure. But it might give you a taste for getting a real bass, yeah. Whew. You all right?
Yes.
Do you need ice? Do you need a drink?
I do. Should hit Globe.
Hit the Globe bar down the street.
Call and response.
Those are on the original recording? I've just never heard them. I've never picked them out. The horns really dominate at this point. Doing the research. Will there ever be a drumsmith? We don't have any plans. We're sticking to guitar and bass. No plans for drumsmith, piano smith, ocarina smith, any of the other smiths. No Will Smith.
John Smith.
We do have plans for CC Smith. That's true. If you're enjoying our morbid backgrounds, you can thank CC Smith. She actually built that animation for us this week. And you're going to get to know CC Smith a little bit better in the coming weeks. Ah. 5 points from Gryffindor. Screwed up. JSD RATM says, Dan, do you have gas? Absolutely. Gas stands for Guitar Acquisition Syndrome. It means when you get one guitar, you want 5 more. Sometimes my wife stops by the chat. She can confirm that I have gas. She only has 2.5 basses, right? She's got it under control, but my gas is overpowering. Together we have about 20 instruments at home. More if I count her harp, so... You made it through, man. Holy cow.
Wow.
Well done. Oh, yeah. Can you even move that hand now?
It's stuck, but yeah.
Yeah, you know what? You should go
It
see...
just does this now.
Go see
just
Ash.
constantly.
He knows
Yeah.
where to get fake hands made, so you can
Prosthetics.
get a prosthetic. That's right.
I want a knife.
Hey, so what did you want to call out? Because there's so much in that song, and you guys did great. You can't see this, but 98.9% and 97.2%. Not that we're, counting, because it's the spirit of the performance that matters. But
also the
damn, that's
score.
good.
But we're
But also
counting.
the score. But we're counting. But we are counting. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the score is the only thing that matters. So
true.
Yeah, this is not Rocket League. I know you wish it were.
You're hearing
Oh,
it from a tennis champ.
That's
The
true.
score is all that
The
matters.
score is all that matters. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. 30 love.
What did you?
Much better than love.
What did you want to call out for the close-up cam, and what did you want to show us for your for your stuff.
So
hey.
these two shapes
Ooh, that's
occur
nice.
throughout. Isn't that nice?
Isn't that
And
pretty?
actually,
I like
it's
that
nice.
shape.
1 string, 1 fret per finger. So starting with the high E string.
What fret are you on, by the way? Because I realized.
6 right
Okay.
here.
I was like, I'm in the middle of a whole bunch of trapezoids. Nobody else can tell where the hell I am on this guitar.
So 6th fret of the E string, then 7th fret of the B string, and 8th fret of the G string. Forms that nice E flat minor chord.
It's a nice little triad.
So the main riff starts with that sort of shape right there. And I was
Articulating all those
thinking
notes, yeah.
exactly. And there's like a little pickup note to this, which starts on the 6th fret on the G string. So it's basically like a hammer-on. So what I wanted to talk about is my picking technique. So and this makes things way easier, at least for me. So instead of using alternate picking when trying to play this arpeggio, what I do is I just sort of sweep, go down in one direction when I'm ascending. So I'm picking down. And if it's coming back up, notice how I flip my pick
Right.
to go the other way. It just makes things way easier.
Is it just more comfortable to do that? Does it feel more natural? or
it
is
really
it
does.
more about the
me,
phrasing of the thing?
to me, it just feels more natural. It's easier to pick the notes because you're going in the same direction. If I were to try to, and you can, use alternate picking, but it's just not as easy, at least in my opinion.
Okay.
So, and I'm sure you heard the notes ringing out as I was playing. That's not what Danny Elfman is doing. He's not letting those notes ring. So what I'm doing after I attack each note, I'm lifting my finger a little bit. So this is all about left-hand technique now. So using that sweeping technique with my picking hand, I'm going to attack each note, and when I'm finished with each note, I'm just going to lift my finger up. And that's how you stop the notes from ringing.
Right.
And it's I'm using the same technique with this shape here, which is a little bit different. But this comes up. This is another E flat minor triad.
An octave down.
Exactly. Yeah. And this is a little more awkward because the pinky gets involved, and I'm comfortable with using it at this point. But thanks, Dan. Dan's smiling.
I'm smiling because Shane's smiling. I'm blaming Shane.
I'm just a happy guy.
So it's the same thing with this shape.
Right.
They're good shapes to know. It's nice to be able to play. Hi. Nice to be able to play arpeggios and know how to pick them cleanly, play them comfortably. I just wanted to go over that picking technique.
Cool.
Yeah, I find being directional with sweeping is the way to go, at least for me.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I don't think I did a video for our half point. Yeah, Brian Pody's going, no, you didn't.
It's okay. We played a 6-minute song.
That's
so.
true, yeah. So we'll just skip the half-hour break, and we'll go straight to the giveaway. So here's what, we've got a giveaway. So we've got 5 Steam DLC codes for this pack, for the Spooktacular singles, all 4 songs, going to 5 different winners. Follow what Jason Paradise tells you to do in the chat room. Jason is the master of all the codes. He has the codes, and he will send you the codes on your computer. Yes, that's what it is. It'll be in your messages here on Twitch.
Device.
Yeah, it'll be in your messages on Twitch if you win. But first, you have to win, and in order to win, you have to enter the raffle. And to enter the raffle, just follow whatever Jason Paradise says. And we do have, however, we pre-recorded the Backtrack Spotlight this week because Jason Kokol is playing bass on Space Oddity, which is a thing to behold. But as we have said in the past, he is usually being at home, being a responsible dad on Thursdays, so he works from home. And so here, let's roll that. And when we come back, we'll do some of that Q&A we were talking about, and we've still got more giveaways to do in the future as well. So take it away, past Dan.
I'm dodging the blood.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Rocksmith 2014 weekly live stream. I'm Dan Amrick. I'm the community developer on behalf of Rocksmith 2014. And joining me for this week's Backtrack Spotlight is the eerie Brian McCune and the creepy Jason Kokel. Hi, gentlemen.
Hello.
Oh, boy. It's definitely one of those weeks. Yeah, brains, we don't have too many of those. No need.
I need brains.
No, you're not going to. Why don't you go over to the accounting department? They're actually the smart people in this company.
Okay.
Hey, this week's Backtrack Spotlight was something that Brian chose, and Kokel immediately jumped on because was it a user request or was it something that you?
It was a user request.
It was. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. People.
Just remembered the user request.
Yeah, we know it internally as like the most awesome and probably most challenging bass part in Rocksmith library. I referenced in the Backtrack write-up that no, it doesn't have the sheer velocity of Ram Jam, but or even actually the Allman Brothers stuff and Boston stuff. It's pretty involved. But this is like a total exploration of the fretboard. And there isn't a lot to hold on to, not a lot repeats. I mentioned this in the Backtrack write-up.
Right.
And I did this was back in the day when.
Do you want to say what song it is? Because we haven't actually said what song it is.
It's Space Oddity, everybody.
It's Space Oddity by David Bowie, a.k.a. Major Tom.
Yeah.
Because everybody thinks
knows
it's
that Major Tom.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Ground Control.
Ground Control to Major Tom.
I need some caffeine. But let's
Sorry,
just
do you want to?
No.
Should we stop?
No. Let's keep
okay.
going. But no, this was back in the day when we did guitar-only DLC. And so I think Seth had tracked it first, and then I took it over. And then when we did bass expansion and brought on Kokel and Jared and Greg, this was one of your first ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the ones you did, and we had a time. We had a time getting this one right.
I was gonna say,
yeah, it was. I mean, because it's the kind of thing where this bass player knows the instrument very well. He can play anything in any position he wants and does, and this song showcases that.
His name is Herbie Flowers.
Herbie Flowers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Which is a fantastic name anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like it's really hard. It's all over, and a lot of the stuff at the end is all completely random, just by feel, kind of like emulating someone talking, sort of. It's so if you don't get it right, don't feel bad because he probably never played it that way ever again.
Yeah.
So, it's difficult, but really, really nice. Really nice. It's a good demonstration of how, when you know the instrument and you know the chord progression, you can invent a bass part that just kind of dances around the whole thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
really good.
And I talk about how there's a kind of a musical metaphor at play in the write-up about how this thing is in outer space. He's not really playing a typical bass part. He's in the stratosphere of the instrument. He's moving all around. He's avoiding strong beats. But what's interesting is that the song does start that way. And it does play long, sustained root notes. And then after the countdown, it kind of launches into
unravels,
outer space.
right.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. And yes, this is Space Oddity by David Bowie. This is on disc, or is this DLC? What was this?
DLC.
This was DLC for Rocksmith 1.
Correct.
So you will find this in all popular online stores. If you'd like to play this in the Steam version of the game, remember, currently you still have to own Rocksmith 1 to use Rocksmith 1 DLC in Rocksmith 2014. But once you do that, as you can see on your screen right now, it works just fine.
I also didn't practice, so I don't think I've played this in like 2 years.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah, before we started, I was like, Pody, pull up the last phrase. That looks tall.
We need to,
and I was like, oh, boy, I really should have practiced.
Hey.
So it's going to be too spooky for me.
You will find the write-up for this Backtrack Spotlight in our official forums at rocksmith.com. Go into the DLC area, and that will be there, along with all of our previous ones, too.
Ground control to Major Tom.
It's nice because I'm almost in tune, too.
To Major Tom.
I think the B string is a little off.
Take your
High or low? So I'll fix it.
I'll tweak it when I hear it again.
Ground control to Major
That's a little flat, too.
Commencing countdown, engines on. Check ignition and make
This song is also unusual because Bowie wrote a sequel. A lot of songs don't tell stories, and then the songs that do are generally standalone. But 1980, Ashes to Ashes, is this continuation of this character.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, where he says that basically he's an astronaut junkie. And then, in 1983, Peter Schilling decided to write his own sequel to the song, which is kind of strange. It's called Major Tom Coming Home. Completely unauthorized, completely different thing. Major Tom Indoors.
Almost.
It's hard to play in zero gravity. What do you want?
I wish I could float away right now.
That bass line is completely insane.
Pretty.
Well, hopefully that's everything that everybody wanted by requesting this song. It is an oddball song, and it is. I mean, but it seemed. Were you playing rhythm or lead, or just
I guess lead.
the lead chart? Well, the lead chart incorporates a lot of chords, so
Yeah.
at first I wasn't sure, but yes,
it does.
It does
Yeah,
seem to be lead.
it's mostly an acoustic
You
track.
guys did great. Look at that.
Yeah, that was.
You're going to be a superstar.
That's
Bad
fun.
deal.
Yeah, I have to say the bridge is like the 70th with the flutes and the F major 7 to the E minor 7.
Yeah. It's almost like it sounds like a. There's like the. It almost sounds like the guitar becomes a sax for a second, in one part. You know, maybe when it's
Oh,
when it kind of goes in.
Or whatever that thing was.
Yeah, it's really just it's an interesting
That's
song.
the
and,
fret it
like,
was supposed to be on.
that's the kind of thing also that was a product of its time, where like the guitar part at that one point overdrives the entire recording,
Right.
and it hit the tape so hard that like there was nothing else. That
Right.
you could
It's
do.
like a little blast.
Yeah, and you just can't get that now with digital. I mean, it just won't happen. It'll
Right.
sound like absolute crap if you try to
When you
push
hit
a
the ceiling,
digital.
yeah.
yeah. But that's something where it's like the tape just goes. It's almost like it just disintegrates. It's really great. Really,
It is cool.
Yeah.
cool song. Really.
Yeah, I mean, that was about it.
I swore last time
That's fine.
when I note tracked it and before we put it out, Rocksmith One, I said I will never play this bass line again.
Yeah,
And
You know,
here we
here
are.
Well, like 2 or 3 years ago, it's
You're like-
now that's like okay, I can come.
Yeah.
I'm ready to come
I'm
back.
ready,
Right.
ready to do it.
Yeah.
It was a lot more fun this time than it was.
Yeah. You'll probably never play Killed by Death again. Maybe you will.
Maybe. Maybe I won't.
Now
I
that's
don't
the new song
we
that you'll
can-
never
yeah.
play. The
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
not playing that on the stream this
True.
week. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should get. I mean, I played it. I played that one a lot.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, now's the time when we traditionally do some Q&A. It won't be with these guys because, as you can tell, we're pre-recorded. But we'll throw it back live.
Ask some questions from the past.
Yeah. Well. Okay.
No,
yeah.
no, I'm
What?
kidding. 5. And yes, request that. Whatever you just said, request it.
Yeah. And don't forget. Oh yes, we totally have a request app that you can now see in the chat room.
Yeah.
Just click on the link.
Part of the reason I didn't practice was because I was looking at all the requests.
Oh, you know what? That's actually true.
Totally true.
Nobody's going to believe it, but I know that it's true
totally
because it's what
true.
you do. So we'll throw it back to the studio. Time to warm up your questions. We'll see which ones we can answer, and then we've still got some more giveaways later on in the show. Ernie Ball guitar pack still coming up, waiting to happen, and who knows who will show up on the rest of the stream. We'll see you there. Go! Hey, so this is the perfect time for your Qs and or RAs. We're happy to answer any questions that you might have, or try to answer any questions you might have. Sometimes you might ask stuff that we just don't have the answer to. Other times we may just not see your question in time. Keep in mind that you can always write us at on Twitter at @RocksmithGame or at Ubisoft Studio SF. You can also pop by the forums and get answers to that to your questions there at rocksmith.com. And we have a Facebook page that's also very active, /Rocksmith on Facebook or /Ubisoft Studio SF. Although really the studio is more about like, hey, this is who we are and this is how we do what we do and stuff like that. It's not nearly as active as the one about the game. But let me see what we've got in the... oh no, Dan killed everyone. I did not kill everyone, just Shane. I'm trying to see what else. A lot of people talking about David Bowie. They were happy to see David Bowie in the stream. Happy to do that. A lot of people saying, you know what song I'd like to see in the game by Bowie? And then, of course, this happens every time. And that's great, but we have a system for that. It's called our request app. If you go to bit.ly/rsrequests, you will get everything that you need. You just go there, sign in with your Uplay ID. You don't even need a Facebook account. A lot of people see it. They see that it takes them to a Facebook page. The app just sort of lives within Facebook servers, but it doesn't actually require you to have a Facebook account. But you do need to log in with your Uplay account, which you should have anyway because you're getting free stuff in Rocksmith just by having one and playing with signed in. And then give us 3 songs that you want to see by a specific artist. And then once you're done with 3 songs, you can do it again. A lot of people go, I only get 3 votes. No, you can enter many more, but you should only do every song once per person because other than that, it throws away your duplicates anyway. Yeah, you can. We just want you to be specific. So don't say, like, hey, I want to hear Oingo Boingo anything, because that's not the way that our process works. We have to give them specific songs to request. That's how it works. And if Pete Sampras were still here, he could tell you more about that process, but he's not. Oh my God! Oh my God! It's the disembodied head of Brian Pody. Oh my God! What happened?
I've had better days.
Your hands are still there.
Yeah, well, I need those.
And your head is still there.
It's my livelihood.
I feel like I'm supposed to bust you at this point for something, for indecent head exposure.
I know, I was kind of worried.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Even though, see, I've got I'm officially there. Hey, let's see what, lol is what the question is right now. Question, what goes on during the process of getting a song onto Rocksmith, asks Wart. With licensing, charting it out, etc. First time here, so I don't know if this has been asked before. Both. First of all, welcome. Thanks for joining us on the stream. Second, yes, we have a pretty good article that answers this at bit.ly/rsprocess. The longest part of the process is the licensing, getting the legal permission and arranging a financial deal that's good for everybody. All the sort of legal bits that have to go into that. That takes... like the shortest it's ever taken is 3 months, but it often takes much, much longer than that. The artists or the people that control the artist's recordings and songwriting, because we have to get both the recording rights and the songwriting rights because they're different things, so we have to sync those together. Different people own those. Sometimes the artists themselves will have given away permissions to other people. It can get pretty complicated, and it does take an awful lot of time. Then it's about 2 weeks per song to get tracked, I guess, on average. We've said 10 days, 2 weeks. And then, of course, we have a QA thing where David Stevens and the guys in Bucharest, they were on before. Ciprian was on the show along with Alexandru. We send it off, they make sure that everything works right, and we send it through Sony and Microsoft and all these things. So realistically, we work about, what would you say, 2.5 months, 3 months in advance of when you actually see the content? Closer to 2 months?
Yeah, it's it's a minimum of 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. You guys are working on stuff that is still coming out this year. Right now, you guys are tracking songs that will be out before the end of the year,
Yes.
but soon you're going to roll over into the DLC that we have planned for January.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so that's that. But there is a fancier, more colorful, and easier to understand explanation of all of that at bit.ly/rsprocess. So you're welcome. You're welcome to do that. Ermagerd, says people at the green. Invisible Man, sort of. Invisible Torso, man. Yeah, sure. Let's see. I have a specific question about this week's DLC, says Ben Toast. Was Devil on My Shoulder licensed after the initial Billy Talent songs were, or was it licensed around the same time? I believe that did clear all around the same time. And we've been looking for an excuse to get Billy Talent back in the game in a way that made sense because we had we had it and we like the song. It's obviously it works very well in the game. And so, yeah, the fact that it had Devil in its name made it a pretty good candidate for Halloween. Let's see. He's Flying Doctor's Head from Scrubs. That's who you are. I guess so, sure. Let's see. What is it? Is there a chance that there will be a sweep picking lesson in the future? Says Timotorius. We're not planning any expansions into additional lessons. We obviously have ideas for the great unknowable future. We don't know what will happen with Rocksmith. We don't have any announcements at this point about any future titles or anything like that. I know people are always like, so will Rocksmith 2016? But we haven't said anything about Rocksmith 2016. That's a great idea, but we've got no green light for that. So will we do more lessons and stuff like that as downloadables? Not planning on it right now. If we get the opportunity to revisit lessons, we might. But, man, that was a lot of work to do all those lessons and get the videos shot and all that stuff. There's some behind-the-scenes pictures floating out there where you can see photos from the day that they shot those videos with the lessons and the musicians and stuff. It's kind of fun.
There are some good songs in the DLC catalog for sweep picking, though. One that comes to mind with Metalocalypse now drawing to a close
Yes.
this week is Thunder Horse. Those are all pretty simple 3-note per string sweeps, so it's a good place to start out. So if you take that and you take it into Riff Repeater, you can play it slow and work it up to speed, and those 3-note per string sweeps are a good starting place.
That's a good idea. What about session mode, says Yathum? Can we have more control over it? Session mode, it's funny, I talked to Nick Bernardi about this. Session mode is really Nick's baby, and he said this was definitely a 1.0 version of session mode. Like, he has ideas for things that he wants to develop. But again, what session mode is for now, what we've done is we've taken a lot of feedback from people and said, if we get the chance to do this again, here's all the things we want to address. So trust me, we have that feedback. Your feedback is also always welcome. When you say you want more control over it, exactly how? Please post that in our forums. We have a dedicated thread just for feedback of the game. And I'm not kidding. We really do go through there. We do look at it. We've tallied a lot of that stuff. We've seen what people have brought up the most often. So please do add your voice to that conversation. It's at rocksmith.com. Go in the forums, and it's actually the very first post in the general Rocksmith 2014 edition feedback. So yeah. It looks like our friends in the chat room, both Jarmac SF and Armed Manic Cuban, you know them as Brian McCune and Jared McAdams. They've both been on the show. They're not on the show this week, although I guess Brian was. Yeah, he was in the pre-recorded.
Yes.
But they're also answering some of your questions. So we're going to move on to our last song. You can ask them questions in the chat room. You can also ask us on Twitter at RocksmithGame, at Ubisoft Studio SF, and there's some stuff down here at the bottom of the screen if you're looking on the PC that you can find all of the ways that you can contact us too. But we're going to play that great Dutch hit from 1971, Hocus Pocus by Focus, which I got to tell you, until last week I kept calling Focus by Hocus Pocus. I totally got it backwards because I'm an idiot. Back when you were a whole man, you're not half the man you used to be.
No, I'm a fraction.
Back before you were just a head and hands, you did the note track for this.
I did. I volunteered for this one.
You did. That's crazy because you're like, this looks like fun. And then, now this song has an alternate lead, which is something we don't talk about nearly enough. There are bonus arrangements. And if you go to, actually, you want to give us the 2-shot real quick, Anthony? This is the screen where you will find the alternate things. Whammo! Come on, game! Come on, game! Show up, game! Try. Oh, there we go. Whew, boy, it really took its time. So down there underneath Technique Guide, it says Bonus Arrangements, Player 1 and Player 2. And if you click on Bonus Arrangements, sometimes you will find that there is a bass part, and that's great.
That's the one that doesn't.
But
have
but if you go back and go to the other player, you might find that there is a lead and an alternate lead. Now, what is the difference between the lead and the alternate lead on this specific track?
So, speaking
Thanks, Anthony.
of the request app, somebody put in when they requested this song, please transcribe the yodeling. So I transcribed the yodeling, and I also transcribed the scat part.
Yes.
And I also transcribed the flute, and I also transcribed the organ, and I also transcribed the whistling. So basically everything you hear is there, which was a terrible idea.
This is on the primary lead, right? So if you
Yeah.
play the game on the default settings, you will get
Everything.
yodeling, scat, flute, craziness. But if you play the alternate lead, you will play just the guitar
It's
parts.
just the
that-
straight guitar part.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
but honestly, a lot of people have been saying, we'll do something that's really approachable, like All Time Low, which, again, we really embrace that. When we put an artist in, or there's a song that seems kind of easy to people who are experienced, we always get a couple people saying, when are you going to put a real challenge in there? And, we never know exactly what they're thinking of, but we do take opportunities like this. You took what was already challenging material, because these guys are not slouches. You may have seen some, we posted a live video yesterday on Facebook of this song. The band plays it almost twice as fast as the studio recording. And, you actually found a way to make it more difficult. So congratulations.
Thank you.
But yeah, if you are looking for a technical challenge and you feel like I've already mastered Cliffs of Dover by Eric Johnson, For the Love of God by Steve Vai was easy peasy, I have no problem playing Satch Boogie by Joe Satriani, I demand a challenge. This could be your track, guys. This is the one to try, especially if you're not particularly familiar with it. You'll learn it from scratch. I can't wait to see what Halsby and the folks and I want to see what Audrey does with this really bad.
Oh, have you not seen?
Oh, has she done it?
Yeah.
Did she do it right away?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So we're going to play. You're going to play the mixed lead. You're going to play
Yeah, I'm
the
gonna
difficult
play the
main lead. I'm going to
beginning.
play bass, which is surprisingly approachable. Again, it moves. It's fast. You can see when you look at the horizon that the parts, there's a lot of repetition in the bass part. There's a couple of tricky fills that I'll probably mess up. But it's a hell of a lot of fun to play, and I'll just try to focus on that. We have another giveaway coming up at the end of the show. We'll be giving away some Ernie Ball guitar gear, because we gave away the bass gear earlier. So if you'd like to win and you haven't won anything yet today, we've still got some treats coming. But for now, we're going to play Hocus Pocus by Focus, one of the 4 songs in the Spooktacular songs pack, the Spooktacular singles, and here we go. And good luck, Brian, disembodied head of Brian Pody.
Thank you.
And
I've got 3 of the important parts.
you got the hands and the head. If only you had the heart. This one really takes heart, man. By the way, you did a great job in this note track. It's a hell of a lot of fun to play.
Oh God, how's it go?
Don't forget the notes, by the way. I will also point out that this is played with a pick because he does chords. If ever there were a song I wanted to sing along with, it's this.
He really nails that high note.
I'm not playing inverted. I'm feeling it. least you get to take breaks. Shane didn't get any breaks.
True.
Now imagine this twice as fast. And that's the live version. Holy cow. Not bad for a head and hands.
Yeah. It's the first time I've tried to play this without a body.
That's very good. Well, Halloween does strange things to us all. Wow, that is so much fun. Again, and I biffed it. I've done so much better on this in practice. But even that, it looks like I got 93. I was on top, right?
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. So now I don't even remember.
The bass part's super fun and the most approachable of the three.
Right.
The rhythm part pretty much all tops out as high as the game will let something.
Wow, that's terrifying to hear, because if my wife wants to play this, she's like, I do bass, you do rhythm.
It's just all of the chords. Every chord basically is a different shape, with the exception of the two sevenths that follow each other. Everything else is a different shape.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it really tricky, is just constantly switching voicings.
And getting the fingers where they should go correctly, because you can't just slide the same shape up like you can in a lot of songs.
No, not at all.
It's everything plants brand new every time you touch the fretboard. It's crazy.
Their guitar player was voted world's best guitarist in 1973.
I believe it.
And this song was number 9 in the U.S. in 1973, which is pretty amazing for an instrumental.
Yeah, there's like a 3.5-minute version that was edited for radio, and we've got the 6-minute album version that was from 1971 from, what's it called? Moving Waves.
Yeah.
A couple people said, I've only heard the radio version. I didn't know there was a longer version, and it's got even more ridiculously in it. I can't imagine what did they cut out the whistling? That would be sacrilege, you know.
Yeah, we made sure to get the 6-minute 53-second version.
Any regrets as the note tracker for this?
No, it was a total beast. It was a lot of work, but I think it's probably my favorite thing in the game. It's totally insane and over the top, and I love it.
So again, if you're looking for a challenge on guitar, you just saw it, and hopefully that will scratch your itch for looking for something that's technically challenging, and maybe not a way that you would approach the guitar before. Again, chords that don't repeat very often, different shapes for every chord, and then actually soloing over yodeling and whistling and scat for crying out loud. It's just kind of ridiculous.
And the guitar parts are very chromatic in places. They're not the same shapes and patterns you would typically rely on, and that's what makes it really challenging. Is he's just very much outside the box, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, it's true. Well, thank you. Excellent work.
Thank you.
Hey, let's do this last giveaway. We've got boy, it's really disturbing to see you without anything for a body. But hey, what we've got here is Ernie Ball's guitar accessories pack. 2 sets of strings. Actually, they're not M-Steels, they're cobalts. And what's the difference between regular slinkies and cobalts? Why, they're wrapped in a cobalt alloy, and that gives you louder strings generally, as well as expanded tone. So if you feel like you're not getting enough out of your strings, the cobalts might give you some more push and some more dynamic range if that's what you're looking for in your sound. But hey, you know what? Try a set on us and Ernie Ball. We'll send this and a set of the regular strings for comparison to one winner this week. You'll also get a sampler pack of the Wonder Wipes that keeps your guitar nice and shiny and maintained. Plus the Ernie Ball strap. That's always good. You always need a spare strap. How about one in black or silver, whichever one happens to fall into your box. And then, of course, a dozen medium picks from Ernie, 3 Rocksmith picks from us, and a peg winder that makes all of your string changes easier. If you're not using a peg winder, you really should be. So, yes, we will give all of that stuff away to one person. Follow Jason Paradise's instructions, and be ready to send him your name, your address, and you want to do this on your hands with me, too? Your name, your address, and your phone number, which we don't use for anything evil, even though it is Halloween. We don't use it for anything evil. It's just so the mailroom can find you. They can give it to FedEx if FedEx goes, you wrote it down wrong, or who are you? Or if they get to your neighborhood and they can't find you, which has happened, it's easier for them to call you directly. It's the only reason we ask for it. So, hey, I think that's pretty much it for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for whatever was left of you for joining us. Much appreciated.
I'm glad some of me could be here.
Yes, we have more DLC next week. It won't be Halloween themed, and I just don't know if there will be a puzzle. There will be a clue. There may not be a puzzle, but there will be a clue in the forums tomorrow sometime when I get around to it. I've had another crazy busy week, and a quick reminder at the end: Metalocalypse Now is coming to a close, sort of. There's going to be a rally/costume contest tomorrow night in Santa Monica. So if you're interested, go look on the Twitters for #MetalocalypseNow. We have a little something in surprise in store for this Saturday. All I will say is you should be following us on Twitter at @RocksmithGame and at Ubisoft Studio SF. #No tricks, all treats. That's all I'm going to say. Be a little something that you might want to be following for. And, we'll see you next week, same time, depending. A lot of people are just now coming into the chat room going, oh, I missed it. I didn't know that the clocks changed. Yes, the clocks changed in Europe. They did not change in America. Sorry, we decided to stick to American time because that's where we are. But next week, we should shift again. So we will be actually setting our clocks back an hour. I, for one, can use the extra hour of sleep. And that will probably screw everything up again, so we'll try to figure out what time that is. I believe it makes it 11 GMT. traditionally. If we shift back, GMT does not. That's why we use GMT for the European time, because you guys are spread all over in various countries across that continent, and there's multiple different time zones. We have enough trouble keeping up with the 4 that are in North America where we live. So, keep an eye on it. We'll be at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. You can always go to Google and find the time change websites that'll tell you exactly what where you're going to be for that, and see what it is relative to you, because we want to see you here next week. Please spread the word. Get all your friends to show up. We'll do more giveaways, more performances, and more silliness. Thank you so much for joining us. We leave you with a look at the Spooktacular singles, which are available now on 6 different platforms. Wherever you like to play Rocksmith, you can find the songs you're about to see. Happy Halloween, everybody. If you celebrate, if you don't, at least just go have some candy. Bye. Oh, boy.